Hello, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Jeff. And we are the sweat between Duncan Road's two thin coats. Welcome to the painting phase.
I do like that one.
To everyone out there, we're brand new. Well, not literally brand new. I've been on the planet far too many rotations of the sun. Some would say. I should have left many moons ago. But anyway, I've persevered, and here I am.
And here you are, Jeff.
Indeed,
and we're all the better for it.
Right, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
we are all the better for it. So, who are you? What's your score? What's your story?
My name's Patrick. I'm 32. I'm a Libra.
Like pina coladas and walking in the rain.
All of those things. My name is Patrick, and I'm a reprobate.
Yes,
that's pretty much it. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously we've been mates. We chat about Warhammer quite a lot.
Yeah.
My introduction to the hobby was last year, pretty much.
Yeah, you're a wee bairn.
Yeah, it all started off. I've been obviously known you for quite a few years now. I say quite a few.
Yeah, a few.
A few?
Yeah, I would say.
Pre-Brexit.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like another lifetime ago.
Yeah. and then I borrowed some minis off you to make a application video for a job at Games Workshop.
That's right.
Got it.
Yeah.
No longer work there.
Yeah. So in other words, it was all my fault.
You'd made me do all those terrible things.
I did.
Yeah. No.
I only lent you the minis for the discount.
Yeah. Everything I bought was for myself.
It was for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was always rambling on about my favourite exercise in the gym was always squats.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So I.
Yeah. You did mention them exercises a lot while you were there. It's really odd.
Yeah. I just really, really liked.
But whenever I told anybody on the internet about them exercises, everybody else didn't seem to think they were a suitable exercise at all, or thought I was making it up and there was far better exercises to do in the gym than squats.
Later on we need to get into that video, but So I am a hobby noob. I'm a videographer by trade, but even though I'm no longer at Games Workshop, I like painting stuff. It's bloody good. I can see why people really like it. So okay. I have a lot to learn. Teach me.
Well, I'm waiting for someone to teach me. Okay, so who am I? I'm his barber. And that's it. Anyway, moving on. I've been in the hobby on and off since 1998. I was in it probably for about 10 years. I left it and was brought back into it when Games Workshop basically groomed my son through Scouts. Which is what they did. They took over like the modelling and creating badge.
Yeah. They
put their own logo on it, the cheeky scamps. And my son came home and went, I want Space Marines.
Yeah, apparently the lady that organised that is, I mean, this is all hearsay that was around the office at the time.
Yeah.
She's the only person that got like a bonus, like a specific bonus for the work that she's done.
Yeah.
Because of how much money that brought in. Apparently it was
I can't say I'm surprised. So I got involved in it again with my son at the time. He was about 12 years old. And the whole idea was that it would be a father and son thing of building and painting miniatures and playing the game. And anybody who's got 12-year-olds will probably realise what's going next. Yeah, I do a lot of painting of more armies than are actually mine. We play, but the painting comes down to me. So I found that this time round, compared to last time, there's that wonderful thing called YouTube. So I've been using that extensively to try and become a better painter than I was first time round. And that's pretty much where my journey currently is. And that's it, isn't it?
That's who we are.
We're
certainly not experts.
Oh, Christ, no. If you tuned in for that, no, we're not the guys.
Yeah, but if you do care about, what two white bearded men have to say about Warhammer, because there's not enough.
Because there's none of them on YouTube. We're so underrepresented.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Like to think we're striking out there for the white bearded men.
Yeah.
So what's the plan? The plan is then that we're going to do this sort of show once a fortnight. We're going to loosely call this the review show.
Something like that. This is the painting phase, isn't it?
This is the thing. We'll talk about things that are new in the hobby, things what we've discovered in the hobby that we think are worth having a bit of a talk about, and people in the hobby that we think are worth having a talk about. And I think that pretty much covers the whole thing, doesn't it?
That's pretty much it, yeah.
So, crack on. First important thing is, what you painting?
I am, if I can get this in focus, here we go. I am painting Blood Angel.
Ooh.
I was following a tutorial by someone online called Not Darren Latham.
Ooh, he sounds a lot like that guy from Games Workshop, Darren Latham.
But this one is specifically not him. We know that.
It's funny because I've watched Not Darren Latham, and he sounds a lot like Darren Latham, and he paints a lot like Darren Latham.
Yeah. So some clever sausage has saved all his videos, and I am slowly working my way through his Blood Angels tutorial.
So you're working your way through Darren Latham's Space Marine leg collection.
Yes.
Which is what he paints really well.
Yes.
His individual legs of Space Marines.
That's it. That's exactly it. Yeah. What are you on with?
What I'm on with this, and this carries on from what we were talking about with my son. This is a chapter of our own making, who are called Knights of the Forge. They use a lot of Black Templars livery, and we use all the characters and elites from the Black Templars, new Black Templars range. Because I'm lazy and I'd rather be painting my own Death Guard than painting these, they've been sprayed in lead belcher or dry brushed in lead belcher, depending on the miniature, and that was mainly so I could reduce how many highlights I was putting on them and try and make my own life a little bit easier. So tonight will be mainly centering on doing full enough reds like yourself and getting some work on the heavy bolter, and just some other little bits and bobs, and maybe try and see if I can get a chance to maybe get his eyes in. So that we'll be working on. Heavy Intercessor, and if you're about to tell me it's the wrong decal on his shoulder, I absolutely know, and I realised it was when I was 5 in, that his natural fact should be a troop, not fire support. But let's just say he's their fire support on loan to troops, because I've chipped it and weathered it and everything now, and I'm not painting over them. I'm really not. And at the end of the day, if my child took more notice, he'd not have probably done it himself and not made that mistake. So it's as simple as that. So there we go. That's that. So
he's going to get bullied because that's got the wrong decals on.
Oh, he won't. Look at the size of him. He's got loads of big gun. He'll be all right. He should be fine. So the first thing, and because this has been a bugbear of ours outside of our new channel, our new way of venting to the public, but it's been a way we've been venting to each other or not. It's a bit of the show that we're going to call, very cleverly, if I say so myself, Warhammer plus or minus. Because we're determined we are staying on Overwatch for Warhammer Plus. We're not letting it slide its way into the background and take our money every month without having something to say about it. So I've been looking at it of late, and although I'm not painting anything Eldari related,
No.
but I've been watching the painting tutorials for it, and they're very good.
Yeah.
The work is very, very strong, it's got to be said.
Yep.
But it is hard a little bit. It's a little bit hard. It's so specific, though. I'm not looking at it and going, oh, that's work I could do on the Death Guard, or that's work I could do on Marines. It's an extraordinarily specific
No, I think
painting tutorial, isn't it, unfortunately?
I definitely thought, I guess that's a danger of doing the specific models, is loads of other people do paint the Avatar of Cain. That video has been coming out a lot recently. And yeah, it's like part 2 got released, and like I don't have the Avatar of Cain. I didn't bother watching.
Yeah, I know, and it's a bit of a shame because you think, oh, I'm sure that's great, but it is, like I said, it's a very specific tutorial, isn't it? And there is a few people out there at the moment having a go at it. Your man, who you're a big fan of, is old Juan Hidalgo.
Good old Juan. He's awesome.
Yeah, let's get cracking. Never gets old, that, does it? Somebody saying such an English expression with a thick Spanish accent just makes it so much better.
Oh, it's incredible, isn't it? Yeah. And
he comes across as lovely, to be fair. I really like him.
Yeah.
And he's got quite a nice little dry sense of humour as well, to be honest with him. I like him.
I do like his intros. They make me laugh.
Yeah. So he's recently done one, and there's plenty of other people out there.
Looked really good. Yeah, really good. Yeah.
It did look really good. So yeah. So there's that. And on the animation front, they finished the Exodite.
Yep.
All 7.5 hours of it. Sorry to say hours. That's not what I meant.
So I rewatched them today, and I have to say, second viewing, thinking of all 3 episodes just as one normal TV episode.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed it more. But knowing that there's not going to be another half an hour for another year is it's not great. It makes me a bit sad.
It's not great, and obviously we're brand new and fledgling, so no one from Games Workshop's going to be watching us. We're not expecting like someone's running to the CEO's door and going, "That guy who used to be on videography launched a channel," and that other fella who comes in and spends too much time looking at models and not spending any cash. They've done a channel together. But if anybody is watching it, Games Workshop, people out there are hard of hearing. Increasingly me in my twilight years. Can you have some subtitles on? Please, for the love of God, put some subtitles on. Especially on things like the Exodite, because the accents were quite strong on the Tau.
They were, yeah.
And there's people out there who are hard of hearing. And the thing is, it's not that, some people can lip read, but it's not that easy to lip read animation. No. You know what I mean? So some subtitles, and also because it's vital when you're watching painting tutorials, can we have the 10 seconds back and 10 seconds forward buttons?
Yeah, I think the player needs improvement, doesn't it?
It does massively need improvement.
Year 2 improvements, more regular releases.
If there is a year 2, then there'll be a good improvement.
There absolutely will be year 2. I think there's.
It's just how many people will be watching it is the thing. Yeah,
yes.
Please. Yeah.
If there isn't a good year 2, that I don't know if there would be a good year 3.
No, absolutely right. Yeah. So I think that is definitely a thing, isn't it? Please, Warhammer Plus, pull your finger out and just pull your finger out. That'll do, won't it? Subtitles, 10 seconds front and back, and a little bit more content. Maybe would be nice.
Yeah.
You know? But that pretty much is. But we are keeping an eye on you, Warhammer Plus. Some people reviewed you in the early days and then let you skulk off to do what you did. Not us. You're on Overwatch for the foreseeable future. And I don't mind spending them command points. I will spend them. You're on Overwatch.
Can I tell you, I've got my two favourite moments from Exodite. One we've talked about before, where he's like, "My technology isn't working. If only I had another functional hand that wasn't a gun." He has to have someone else come over and do it for him. I love the fact that
a stealth suit requires 2 people.
Yeah.
Each stealth suit.
It's brilliant.
Probably press this button.
Yeah, and then my second favourite moment was, it's very reminiscent of In A New Hope, where they blast off from Mos Eisley in the Millennium Falcon, and he's like, "There's a Star Destroyer coming right for you." So like, "Don't worry, I know some manoeuvres." And he just goes slightly to the left. In this one, big showdown at the end, and there's this Tau ship, and it gets must be 20 missiles blasted at it, and someone a voiceover artist is going, "Evade, evade," and the ship just goes, and then just gets obliterated.
Yeah, the many things them Tau guys. Hotshot Pilots apparently isn't one of them.
Yeah. I think they did do a really good job of making the Eldar seem like a really ancient race that has been through and done everything already. So they're just like, "Oh, your tower is super young and you'll figure it out."
Yeah. Thanks very much, you patronising
brother.
Yeah.
Ooh, there we go. Just said a bad word.
You did say bad word.
Oh, so now we get to introduce the third member of our crew. He is called Space Marine Sensor Machine. Here he is.
For the Emperor!
So, whenever we swear, because we're trying to stay in YouTube's good books, our Space Marine sensor machine, he will kick in with an appropriate word that he thinks should cover our potty mouths.
Heretic.
The things you can pay people to do these
It's
days.
amazing,
It's
isn't it?
wonderful. Yeah.
So good. The gentleman who was the voice of our Space Marine sensor machine is an absolute legend.
Yeah.
He really is.
He's a good lad.
Yeah.
He's a
Cheers
good
to
lad.
him. But right then, so we've reminded Warhammer Plus of their place under our BDI. So next thing then is Games Workshop releases that have been happening over the last couple of weeks. What do you think, even though it's not something we've ever really discussed here before, what do you think of Mad Max Necromunda?
Yeah, looks cool.
It does look cool, doesn't it?
Yeah. That model.
So obviously
released.
the Ash Wastes, as it's actually called.
Yeah.
But
They're pumping out the painting tutorials for it at the moment with all the new presenters and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like it's good to see that the YouTube space is getting a bit more love. I don't know if I will buy any of the models. Like
Well-
maybe if there's like a kit of like 5 or 10 guys or something like that, I might give it a go. But I think I'm more excited about like the Horus Heresy plastic miniatures.
That new Praetor they showed the other day.
That looks really cool.
And
Yeah.
you know, because I haven't been on the 40k roundabout many moons ago before, where I had a little bit of just about everything under the sun and didn't have anything painted of anything complete.
Yeah.
And then when I got into it with my child this time, having had a few more years under my belt and also now having children, I've got nowhere near the disposable income.
Yeah.
I said to my boy, we're not collecting more than we need to, you know, everything painted, everything played to the point we're bored of it, then maybe. But, so I have said no, I'm not doing Necromunda. But it's still something that I can appreciate. And also, this will probably come up mentioned from time to time. But last year, as you know, I won 2,500 points of painted Gene Steeler Cult, didn't I?
You see that?
Yeah, didn't you?
Yes. Yes, that's right, 2,500 points. I follow a lovely Facebook page which is called Faith and Damnation, and they had a charity auction for mental health, and I put some money into the charity auction and was a lucky blighter. I won a really fantastically painted Gene Steeler Cult army, which is pretty much almost a complete thing. It only needs, since the Ninth Codex, only needs a few little bits and bobs.
Yeah.
But I've got to be honest, when I seen the trucks for Necromunda, I thought,
Yeah.
ooh, that'd look good with Gene Steeler Cult.
Yeah, because it's like it's an armoured container on wheels, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and it's, you know,
Yeah.
in Gene Steeler Cult, as long as the guns are in the right place, there's no reason it can't stand in
Yeah.
for any of the
Yeah.
Goliath trucks for them. So yeah, it did slightly prick my interest for.
Gonna have some conversions on the go.
Yeah, absolutely. So it did prick my interest for that.
Nice.
So yeah, but I think I think it's a brave thing. But my concern is that Necromunda doesn't play on a very big board, and you know you're potentially calling that thing a land train. So the idea is, I think you'll be able to potentially buy more trailers for it. And you think you could end up with it the length of the board. You know, you think I don't quite know how it's going to manoeuvre its way about.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I've never played Necromunda, so I have no.
Many
idea.
moons ago, and it's one of its much older iterations. But,
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it comes through in that side of things. But nice to see them doing something a little bit inventive and unusual. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is cool.
Yeah, no, minis look cool.
These look cool, especially like Games Workshop's Tusken Raiders, as they basically are. They look really good, which is all. You know, I'm all for that. If you're going to do something out in the desert, you've got to have something that's a little bit in that
of course, yeah.
in that sort of area, haven't you?
Yeah.
And
it's only right with Warhammer 40k being quite closely linked to Dune.
Yeah, well, absolutely right. Yeah, more so than they let on. But more so to a lot of sci-fi than they let on. So then what else have we had? We had only yesterday, was it? We had the new rejig of the meta.
Oh, the balance update,
The
yeah.
balance update.
I mean, I saw a load of numbers and somebody said, wow, the guard could damage a tank with a flashlight.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. yeah, the idea it's this thing of like, well, you think it's going to not be that difficult for God because they have to be rolling at least 4s anyway. So you're going to be closer to 6s already. So if they hit the magic 6, it massively improves things for them.
Okay.
But I like that. Although I don't collect cards, I like the idea of plucky ordinary humans. So I think the card getting a little bit of help now is good.
They're due a codex release.
Well, they're due a codex release, but it's not hugely being mentioned at the moment. So I'm getting the impression they're going to be last or is very damn near last. So
is it the only one yet to be announced for 9th edition?
It's the only one that I think it's the only one yet to be announced. Yeah. So so that's a little bit off for them, but loads of updates for especially anybody who wears power armor. They've all had a bit of an update with regards to that. Except, which I was really chuffed about, was not Custodes.
No.
And I was really pleased about that. And that sounds terrible. I know if you're a Custodes player, I do apologise, but you're good enough. You know what I mean? Really speaking.
I mean, their codex is only...
And also, as well, I just like the idea that Henry Cavill might cry. All the money in the world, and he can't stop an update. No matter how handsome he is, he can't stop Games Workshop jigging his army. Or not jigging his army about.
No. I mean, that codex is new, so it should be.
But you'd say that, but they've already gone in and they're having to reset Eldari to some degree and Tau and everybody else. And you think, and I don't know, I can't make my mind up here. Are codexes not written well enough, or?
I think it's the playtesting.
Or the playtesting's not great, or are all you guys who are into tournaments and really good at it, are you just really so smart that you break a codex? I can't quite make my mind up where the fault lies. Do you think it shouldn't need something fixed and shouldn't need this quickly, should it?
I think part of it is, from what I gather, is the time that they have to playtest it is not quite enough.
It's not long enough, yeah.
Because I know that the lead times on these things are huge, because they have to, from what I understand, they get the models, go, right, okay, this is what we have, let's write rules for them.
Yeah.
Let's test it.
Excuse me while I grab a fist on red. Please do carry on.
Yeah. Everything's printed in China, and that has a 3-month turnaround. So all the rules get written in advance, well in advance of release. And then they think, oh, it's okay, we'll do an FAQ and we'll fix it afterwards. So I think digital rules, that has to be in the future, surely.
Surely,
So rumour has it is...
Ooh, go on. Any sentence to start with, rumour has it.
Rumour has it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. In my time spent there, was when the new CEO came in. He, again, there may be no truth to this. Whoever told me might just have been lying out of their arse. So take it with a
huge grain of salt.
Yeah, that's it. Anything I talk about from my time at Games Workshop, I may just be a disgruntled ex-employee, and
I could never imagine you being disgruntled. You're too nice.
Yes. Yeah, I come home and I'm like, darling, I'm disgruntled. No, so apparently they were thinking about winding down on books. The new CEO came in and said, but we make like 6 million quid a year on books. We're keeping that.
Yeah.
And that's why they've done it. Yeah. But I think if you brought codexes into Warhammer Plus, into the 40k app, and AOS app and all that sort of stuff, then that would, and you just get updates like all the time. Like I have more than enough stuff for an Orc army, and if I painted them all the same colour, Space Marine army.
Yep.
What puts me off is like all of these books and keeping updated with everything and the balance updates and this. And that.
I know, and I do think if you're a casual player, as I am, I manage to get a game of 40k in probably about once a month.
Yeah.
With my gaming bud Tim, who will probably get mentioned on here more often than enough. He'll get mentioned, but you'll never see him. I said, so would you like to come on the show at any point in time? He's like, no, I'm all right, thank you. So Tim will be our ghost friend on here. He me and him play, and you get to the point where you go, how much notice do you take? We don't play tournaments. How much keeping up do you do? You know?
Yeah, and I guess that's it. You take as much notice as you want.
Yeah, and I think that's I think that's the key, isn't it? You've got to just make a decision and go, yeah, I'll deal with that, but I'm not dealing with that, or I'm dealing with that, or you know. Because
nothing is stopping me. I have an alt codex in a box somewhere in the Beast Snaggers box. I know that's been FAQ. There's a bunch of stuff like a load of the buggies were like.
Yeah, because
quite overpowered, weren't they?
Yeah,
with
buggy
the amount,
rush was a bit of a thing,
with
wasn't it?
Like somebody won a tournament with like 13 buggies, or something. Yeah, it's great. That's one of those. Good game. Well, it wasn't, was it?
Yeah. If anyone doesn't know what Pat's referring to there, you need to go and watch the video from last year's?
Last year's LGT.
Last year's LGT final.
That was the first competitive game of Warhammer that I ever watched.
Yeah, it was not a great way to start watching the guy get Admech flying to death in what felt like about a 10, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear, it wasn't great.
Yeah, like I got into it because Pat was there.
Yeah, he used to be a presenter on Warhammer Plus, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. So yeah, I wanted to see what it was all about, and I watched two grown men just bicker. It was great.
Oh dear. Oh, the really big one. Probably the biggest news of probably the last 10 years in Games Workshop.
What's gone on?
The 40k Panini sticker album.
I thought you were going to say they were releasing more candles.
Not that big, come on, steady. Yeah. So when you thought there was no licenses left, Warhammer 40,000 is going over to Panini.
Yes.
Do you know what? The 8-year-old in me, who has done Panini sticker albums in the past, is strangely up for this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, unlike last time, I won't be able to hang around the school gates at the end of the day looking for swaps because I'll just end up on a register, especially with this beard.
Oh God!
It's never gonna. The Nottingham Post is never going to go for the fact I was just looking for swaps on stickers, is it?
Like, spotted Nottingham Facebook group. Have you seen this bearded man with these stickers? Oh God.
And an Ultramarines Terry towel and dressing gown. Just to make sure everyone knows I'm there.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Panini sticker albums. And you know what? I want to get really excited about that in a weird sort of nostalgic sort of way.
Yeah, why not?
But the problem being with it for me, and I know it sounds like being more cynical than is required, and I know, but is that Games Workshop produce some amazing artwork. But they don't produce amazing artwork a lot. If you look at most codexes, they're full of, 70% of it is artwork you've seen before. And I think if I started, me and my son, say for example, did a sticker album between us or one each, I would just be finding myself going, oh, well, I know that from the first time I seen that was like in 4th edition Space Marine Codex, and seen that in the 3rd edition, and if, for yourself, where a lot of it would be new.
Oh, everything's new to me.
But for the rest of us, will be thinking, oh, that image again, And there's some, most artwork in Warhammer 40,000 is lovely. It's really nice, but it loses its shine once you've seen it 7 or 8, years in a row, turn up in different publications. So the Panini album that's one of the things. Like I say, the not ending up on the registers being the main one, but
I hesitate to say they haven't done it with you in mind as their target audience. Well, I mean, I guess you're the target audience of who is going to buy it for their children.
Yeah, I'm the target wallet.
Yes. Yeah.
That might be where it ends. Yeah. So, like I say, the problem being is it's just going to be full of artwork I'd seen before. If they said, or we can guarantee it's 50% your artwork you've never seen, I would actually probably be quite invested in it.
Yeah.
But like I say, just when you thought Games Workshop could find no more, you know what I'm looking forward to next? Space Marine alphabetes.
Yeah.
The little spaghetti.
By the Emperor, they've never tasted so good. What else? What else?
I've built enough arms to make a Tyranid.
Oh, God.
That would be great, wouldn't it? Warhammer 40,000 spaghetti shapes.
Yeah. I'd buy that.
It's only a matter of time.
I'd buy a tin and put it
over there.
Put it in the set.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. So there's that. So that's pretty much ending on the bombshell of the sticker album. That's pretty much the 40k and Games Workshop news that has caught my attention in the last week or so. Quick one then. Shall we do a little review of something that we've sort of hit our radar in the last few weeks that we've been prepping ourselves ready for the show, and you have it sitting over there. Pro Acryl paint, bold titanium white.
Yeah.
Not just titanium white, bold titanium white.
Yeah. I wonder why titanium. Sounds good, doesn't it?
But it's metal, isn't it? Is it white? I don't know enough about me metals to pass judgment one way or another, but I always just think of titanium surely being like any other metal colour. But anyway, this is, we're not breaking any ground here. It's been getting talked about, especially more from the American guys. It's been talked about on YouTube extensively for probably on and off for a couple of years now. But now that Nottingham is lucky enough to have an Element Games, sorry,
you can only shop there in the winter.
Not Elemental Games, because that would mean you could only go in there and buy element things for Magic. But yes, so I hate to use this expression because it does get overused, but as white paints go, it's a bit of a game changer, isn't it?
It is great. I mean, I had my first experience with Codex White painting these Iron Warriors, and I'll put a clip in over the top of like the goo that I found in there, which I had to absolutely abuse with a pigment mixer to try and get it all back in. But this is great. I mean, the coverage on this is fantastic. The downside, I think the lids are crap.
The lids are really crap.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the lids actually do a really good job when you're using it of going, oh look, here's some paint.
Yeah.
And then we can seal it. And especially for me, clumsy Daka like yourself won't knock it over and spill it everywhere. But it comes with its own inbuilt mess.
Yeah. Definitely.
We're keeping things tidy whilst also being messy. It's a very strange concept.
That's it. There's no perfect paint pot, is there?
No, apparently
perfect
not.
Paint pot. Yeah.
Didn't you speak to a heavy metal boy that said who said that at GW? Didn't he? Said
yes.
There was
yeah. He's like like they all have pluses and minuses. Yeah.
But but for coverage and for being absolutely bright white, it's really strong, isn't it? It's very good, and it mixes well, I think, and also it waters down well as well. You're thinning it out isn't hard at all. It behaves itself really well and is just leaps and bounds ahead of Codex.
Yeah.
I think, and also really reasonably priced for quite a good amount of paint as well in the bottle.
Yeah. So the bottles are more expensive than Citadel, but you get more, so it works out cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's just that downside is that lid. Other than that, I really struggle to find anything else wrong with it.
Yeah,
I think it's really decent. So wherever you shop, you may well be able to get hold of it. Obviously, unless you only shop at Games Workshop, then you won't. But Element Games Online will have it, and if you're lucky enough to live near an Element Games, then they'll definitely have it on the shelf because they have quite a good selection of paints from Pro Acryl, and there is a couple more in their range that I'm getting quite interested in. The teal gets mentioned a lot. I managed to lay my hands on, as I got one for you as well, didn't I? The special edition Inquisitor.
Yeah.
So, and I think he's got teal cloak written all over him at the moment, so I'm quite liking the idea of that. So I will be investing in a few more colours of it. But even if you only ever buy one, that titanium bold, that bold titanium white is a strong colour. And you're using it at the moment, aren't you, to start some work there on a holster?
Yeah, get a base coat down and then just put some snakebite leather over it. But no, this is great. Yeah.
It's really good. Hobby hero. And who are we going to say is our hobby hero for the first show?
It's got to be Guy.
It's got to be Guy. It's got to be Mr. Midwinter Minis himself, hasn't he? He's probably up there with the best of them when it comes to subscribers.
Yeah.
But other than coming across, we've never met him as genuinely a decent all-round fella.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the word fella because if I use the word guy and then say Guy for his name, it's going to start annoying me because my brain won't be able to keep up. But he comes across as a nice chap.
Yeah.
I'm going to use every variant.
Yeah. Well, I think Hattie is Hattie was someone I worked with at Games Workshop, who has since departed as well. I think they're doing a bit of work together, and by all means, yeah.
So if you haven't come into contact with Guy, his show, it's a bit of an all-rounder, isn't it? Really, he does painting tutorials. He does teaching people to play. He does mini battle reports. He talks about tips and hints and cheats and how to do things quickly and cheaply. And then the one thing he doesn't do cheaply in the slightest is he's building a Titan.
Yeah.
All squillion dollars of it.
Yeah. Oh, God.
But yeah, he's building a Titan. And so we get a little bit of Titan every sort of like month or two.
Something like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Which is quite cool. But he's, I would say, of all the content providers, he probably does some of the widest variety of things.
He does a lot, doesn't he? But I watch all of it.
Yeah.
Because Guy's at the helm. Like, his videos are really engaging. Like I say, seems like a nice chap, and I think he's doing a lot for the hobby.
And you know, from your point of view, with you being a videographer, his skills aren't bad, are they?
Oh, he's smashing it. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially in the most recent one he's done, which is about how he would see the true anatomy of a space marine, having gone through all the surgery required to become one. The camera work on that particular episode itself was really nice.
That was really good. Yeah.
Now he's got a studio. It seems to be moving forward for him, but
which is awesome.
Yeah. But he does a real interesting mix of things. I think if you watch Guy on Midwinter Miniatures and you can't find anything that takes your interest within the generally the Warhammer hobby, I don't know how good a channel you expect, because I think he does do a really, I think he does a pretty decent job, doesn't he?
Oh, smashes it. He's better than us.
Not hard at all, but give us time, see how we get on. So I've got to be honest, I don't think I've got anything left to talk about other than maybe what's the future of us. Not like me and you, because we're rock solid.
It's never in question.
But this isn't going to be the only thing we do, is it?
No, it isn't. So this is our just hour-long podcast style chatting show.
Yeah, our fortnightly ramble.
Yeah, and I think it's just what we've been up to. But for me, with me being an absolute punter, I'm going to be trying to learn how to paint, and I am only going to be using YouTube tutorials and content creators from who are fans of the hobby themselves. I'm going to be following those tutorials with the quest of improving my abilities. So there'll be a video from me about painting my warriors soon.
And then ultimately, but there's an ultimate goal at the end of that, isn't there?
There is. I want to paint the Warpsmith. Yeah.
The whole Warpsmith will just be one single piece of hazard stripe.
Yeah.
It'll just be just a big stripe of yellow and black. Because you'll have nailed it that much.
That would look hideous. But I'm really intrigued now what that would look like.
Looking like something that's stuck at the side of the M25 or a closed off lane. Or is that a Warpsmith or wet concrete?
Oh, God.
So you're going on a little journey where you're going to make your way through different content creators
Yeah.
who will be doing different tutorials, ultimately leading up to you painting a lovely character miniature.
Something along those lines. I think so. Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, you can see behind me. I've got a lot to paint. I've got a
You've
lot
got a
of
bit, haven't you?
orcs.
You've got a little bit.
Yeah. There's all sorts. Kill team. I've got the Dominion box because they really wanted rid of those.
Wasn't that one that was a doorstop for your office?
Yeah, I used to trip over them going to the toilet.
Yes, there's plenty of it, isn't there?
Yeah.
You've got lots to do.
I have a lot to do.
Even if you only make your way through your pile of shame, we should still have this podcast running until possibly somewhere about 2070. My child will have had to take over as co-presenter.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got plenty to keep you going, haven't you?
That's it.
Yeah, my plan will be I will do a short little hints and tips where I'll just little ideas of how I do things quickly to try and help you get things onto the battlefield. It's not going to be designed to try and help you put anything in a glass case to be oohed and awed over by your friends. It'll just be trying to help you to get things moving along towards getting squads finished, and that will be my little bit. And then the bit that is the thing that keeps us awake at night.
I have nightmares about this.
The 30-minute challenge, isn't it? Where we both take a figure of virtually identical as we can manage, and we try and paint it in 30 minutes. And the aim will be to paint them, put them on a little display, let them go round, and then hopefully let you judge who is the best or the best and the worst of the pair. And
yeah, we've already filmed a couple of them.
Yeah.
We'll have an Ultramarines one, which will be the first one that you see at some point. But
it's spoilers. It's a car crash. It's awful. If you see it come up, I just skip by it. If you want to, if you're thinking, God, my painting could do with some updating, or it isn't good enough, just watch this, and you think, what, my painting's much better than I thought it was.
The whole premise of this show, I think, is of everything we do is if you want to feel better about your own skill, you use social skills where you are in your life. Watch us. And you'll instantly feel better.
I think that's probably the best review of what this show's going to be, really, isn't it? So,
just a joke.
Yeah. So, this has been our first show on the painting phase. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope, despite all of the ramble and nonsense that it is, you want to come back, because we'd love to see it again. So, and all of the little things we've got planned along the way, we hope that, at the very least, give you something to do while you're painting, and if they make you laugh, then even better. So, we're going to end on what's going to become my inspiring catchphrase.
You're bigging it up there, aren't you?
Oh,
yeah.
I'm like the paint equivalent of Yoda. And all I'm going to say is just make sure your next miniature paint, is better than the last miniature you painted. And on that, do you think that's a goodbye?
I'm looking at this miniature and it's definitely not better than the last one that I painted.
That's definitely a goodbye. See you next time.